Alright, so at this point you should have this front sheet done, okay, including this bottom portion as well. Now, again, your job by the time we meet next is to have this entire packet finished. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to go ahead and finish the second page of this packet. That said, these are the notes that you guys started. I'm going to go ahead and show you now how to diagram the atom using the Bohr model and the Lewis dot model. Okay, so first things first, let's take a look at the Bohr model. Okay, now the Bohr model, couple things. We use dots to represent electrons. Okay. We actually draw in the nucleus, and we actually label it too. N-U-C-L-E-U-S. That says nucleus. Okay, and so to start out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the elements, we'll say nitrogen, to sample this. Okay, so nitrogen as it looks, protons, neutrons, and electrons, we need to figure out what those are first. So nitrogen, okay, protons, neutrons, and electrons. Well, taking a look, nitrogen's protons should be 7 based off of our rules. Okay. Also based off of our rules, we know that the electrons should be 7. Atomic mass of nitrogen is 14.0067, rounds to 14. 14 minus 7 should give us 7 neutrons. Oh, you guys can't see that. Okay. So we want to draw and label these. Now, just like I said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in our nucleus. Okay. Protons equals 7, neutrons equals 7. So these are represented in our diagram. Okay, now we need to represent electrons. And so the way that we do that is by drawing orbitals or shells. Okay, now shells have maximum capacities. Their maximum capacities for the first shell is 2, then 8, then 8, then 8, and so forth. Okay. Now the other thing that you guys need to know about electrons, they travel in pairs. Okay, and they also try to spread out as much as they can. So that said, okay, I wrote down they spread out as much as possible. Our example here, nitrogen, okay, my first shell, because this is shell number 1, okay, can only have 2 electrons in it. 1, 2. I drew them as a pair because they travel in pairs. Now if I were to draw a second pair in here, or even a third electron, they would be as far away from this as they possibly could. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead, we need to draw, as we said, 7. So right now I have 2, I need to add 5 more in to get to 7 electrons. So I'm going to go ahead and write 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now notice I drew them on opposite ends because those pairs want to get as far away from each other as we can. So far I have 6, I only have room for 1 more to finish my 7. I drew the 7th over there just to get it spread out away from these. Okay, satisfied. Now, one last thing, this 2 and then every shell after that containing 8, we call that the octet rule. Again, those of you familiar with chemistry know this might be a little more complicated in chemistry class. For our purposes and for our drawings and bonding ability, let's just keep it at that. Okay? Let's do one more example together just so you guys can see and solidify. Let's go ahead and let's do... I like potassium. Let's go ahead and do potassium. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this while you can see the element right there as well. Potassium. Okay, we first need to figure out protons, neutrons, and electrons. So our protons are always going to be our number. So potassium K is 19 protons. We also know, therefore, then we have 19 electrons. Neutrons for potassium, 39.09 rounds to 39. So to figure out how many neutrons we have, we take 39 minus 19, which would give us 20 neutrons. From there then, we can take this information, go ahead and draw the Bohr model. There's our nucleus. Protons are 19. Neutrons are 20. Electrons, 19. So we got a little bit of work here. We go ahead, 1, 2. Okay, again, that's the most I can have in my inside shell. But then after that, I can have 10 in every single shell. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 8 more for a total of 10. I need to get 9 more yet to go. So I'm going to go ahead. Now I know that I have 10 already. I'm going to add in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm at 18. I need 1 more. And potassium has 1 in its last shell. Okay, so that would be another example of potassium. At this point, you guys should be able to then go ahead and fill out everything on the second page, okay, except for this bottom Lewis dot structure. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do Lewis dot on our next video. Go ahead and finish this whole chart, okay, using our example. Again, boron, lithium. I want you guys here just to show you that this is the number, okay, this is the name, this is the mass, and then all the other things, protons, neutrons, electrons, Bohr diagram. Again, like I said, leave the Lewis dot alone. We'll teach you how to do that in our next video.